those who don't know, we're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. Hopefully you all have this in your library. If you don't, your library is incomplete. Your library is ineffective because you need this book. If you're single, there is a chapter there for people.
You keep saying that there is a chapter. The whole book
but
there's a benefit to people who are not yet married. That's what I'm saying. You're like a homing pigeon. Here's the whole book.
Okay.
From the people that we have talked to
and the
experiences, they need to know that friends first is important.
Yes.
Right?
That's true.
They need to know how to talk to each other and lean in and listen, and the eye contact and the body language, all of that. So that it's not just, okay, I'm on Tinder or whatever, and they look good, they got the right kind of profession, they're making the money, let's get married. It's more than that.
The topic tonight is really a play on the great ministry and life of Dr. Martin Luther King as we celebrate his birthday today, and the fact that he had a lot of committed conversations to people about committed love. He said that love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. And
do you think he was talking about married love?
No,
or was he talking about love of people?
But it was applicable. It was applicable. Okay, it was applicable. They had a number of quotes that were applicable to marriage. Now,
applicable or applicable?
Okay, applicable. Okay. Okay, applicable.
Okay.
All right.
I like that.
All right. So love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. There are a lot of marriages where people in the marriage are enemies living in the same house. Dr. King said that force.
Okay, this is MLK.
Yeah, but he said love is a force that can. It's the only force capable of transforming enemies into friends. And many people are enemies living in the same house. Now, they didn't start as enemies, but over time, there were little things that drew them from or took them from being.
When you say little things, could you give us some examples? That's another one of your favorite. You say little things.
But there's really little thing, like a little thing. Like we had a conversation with somebody who had a big argument about who's going to turn out the lights. Did we not? At night. Who's going to turn out? Yes or no? That's a little thing. I gave her an example. You asked for an example. I gave you one. And I
want another. Who's going to turn out the lights? So is that a little thing, or is that about control? Who wants?
Well, it's a little thing that became a big thing because they did not have a mechanism to fix it before it became a big thing. That's what we want to talk about. And the fact,
I don't even really think that was the issue. I think the issue is one of who's going to be in charge.
Okay, well, whatever the reason, you can diagnose it any way you want. The bottom line, they were arguing about who's going to turn out the light at night, and that's a little thing that became a big thing. Now, there are a lot of people who argue about little things that become big things that are not consequential. Who told him to take out the trash? Terrence said, "Did you take out the trash?" Okay, people argue about. Did you make up the bed? Did you?
Yes. Well, we dealt with that.
Yes, we dealt with that.
Oh,
where you pick up your drawers.
You see, here's the thing.
That's a little thing. Bottom line is a little thing. So let's talk about that. Now, when you look up Dr. King, Deep did some homework on
Here's my take on this. I have a slightly different take. This is MLK Day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, he was married.
Yes. And
they were partners.
Okay, tell us why. How? Why?
They were partners. Okay. Now I'll just give you a quick example because everybody talks about MLK Day, and she's kind of left over to the side.
But it would be hard to have an MLK without a Coretta.
Absolutely. Okay, so they were married in June of 1953, but she actually entered the stage in 55 as the wife of the civil rights leader in the civil rights movement. That's when she really came on the scene,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
she was busy having children like every 2 or 3 years, and they had 4. And they were only married for 15 years before he was assassinated. But they shared the same philosophy of nonviolence, of religious freedom, caring for the needs of the poor, for full employment, for healthcare. And in fact, a lot of things we're still fighting for today. But I saw her as a partner. Why? Because when MLK died, she moved into the role of making sure that the King Center came into being. There was no King Center before he died, right? So she developed the King Center, helped to raise the funds and everything, and now it sits on 23 acres. I was trying to remember one time. Did we actually go to the King Center in Atlanta?
We did. We did go to.
It sits on 23 acres. So she was the one who was instrumental in making that happen. Okay, day that came into being what in 80? What was that? What was that? In the 1980s.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact date.
But Sherry Elliott, the Facebook should be better
very,
now. I just turned off the Wi-Fi and went hardwire.
Okay. So the partnership, you talk about marriages.
Mm-hmm.
His legacy was preserved by his partner, his wife.
So they were partners. And there probably would not have been the impact of MLK without a Coretta Scott.
Absolutely.
All right, great. And they were partners.
She spearheaded the national holiday of actually bringing it into existence.
Of which I marched in the march. Terrence said, "Wife after death." That's a good one.
Oh,
that's good. That's good.
Wife after death.
That's
Thank you, Terrence.
Yep.
Like that wife.
You got somebody from South Africa joining us. Welcome.
And do you know that MLK Day is celebrated in over 100 countries?
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's celebrated in over 100 countries. So when we have MLK Day, don't forget Coretta Scott King, who really made it happen.
So we want to talk about that and the fact that, and we also, there was a piece this morning we were watching about MLK's mother, Alberta, and the impact she had on his life. We usually hear about Daddy King, heard little about Mama King, and the fact that she was so instrumental in raising the children. He was a preacher, MLK Senior, Daddy King, but and it was interesting. We heard this on our morning that she was the mother of MLK, was so instrumental in encouraging him to become excellent in his educational pursuits. So very, very important that we look at the women in MLK's life. And his mother and father had they were married almost for 60 years, I think, 50 years. Mm-hmm. But whatever to take, his mother was killed at the organ. Did you know that? Do you remember
that?
Yeah, she was shot by a deranged man while she was in church playing the organ. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's. But you know what?
They rose above.
They rose above that. Absolutely. So Sherry, let us know if Facebook should not be freezing anymore. Thank you for joining us from South Africa. I love South Africa. We love South Africa. We loved when we went to South Africa. I spoke for Coca-Cola South Africa and had a great time.
And his mother was assassinated.
Yeah. So okay, let's talk about today's show though.
Go back. What's the topic?
The topic is. There are two topics, actually, fiction and fractured marriage, but there's also the topic of committed love can bring you through the tough times. And that's what we want to talk about, because love, it can change you from a force that will transform an enemy into a friend. We got lots of people we've talked to over the last couple of years who were enemies living in the same home. Now, we had one particular couple. The wife called us and said, "I'm out. I'm done. And we said, not yet. Do this one thing for us, please. Get 2 copies of the book. Read it together. Talk about it. And they did. But
I think she could call and say that, because we have a relationship.
Yeah, but we told her what to do,
and she did it.
And she did it, and it worked. And now she's our biggest promoter, one of the biggest promoters of the book. She has people all over the country calling saying, "Hey, so and so called me to get the book because it fixed their marriage, which was fractured." And we have a fractured marriage. Now, what do we tell them? That there are principles in the book that we want to talk about.
What is a fractured marriage?
All right.
Do you think that's what is a fractured marriage?
What's a fracture in your foot? It's where it's a break of some sort. It doesn't have to be big, but some sort of place where there's.
Okay, so what's the list for mending?
All right, let's go. I want to go back to one thing that Dr. King said that will go to one of the first points. He said to Gwen and James Middlebrooks in January of 1961. He married them in January of 1961. And he said to them he would not perform the ceremony until they had a good reason to get married. What's your good reason to get married? It's just a good reason. So we say in the book, chapter number 1, people get married for all sorts of reasons. Some of them are not what I would call good reasons. Somebody looked good. Somebody had a banging body. Somebody had money. Somebody had a fancy car. Somebody had a big house. Somebody had had some power.
Is that a good reason to get married?
What? I didn't have. Neither one of us had a fancy house or a fancy car.
I'm pondering
that
now.
You're pondering now?
A big house, financial security. That's not a good reason to get married.
You know, you almost married an old man who had all that. But I came.
That was before I found love.
That's right. There you go. Green card. That's right.
That was before I found love.
People get married for a green card. We talking about all of that in the book. Chapter number 1, though. Why should you get married? Let's start with why. Why? That's right here in the book. Page number 7. What's your why? Why are you getting married? And is it a good reason? Are you friends first? Woo! That is the secret we have found. Start with friends first.
So what's your why?
What's your why?
So what if your why was really not good and then you stuck? What do you do now?
Then that's where you have. Now you got to fix it. And we give you strategies to fix if you're not friends first. Don't we give you strategies in there to become friends if you're not friends? Don't we talk about that?
Yes, dear.
Lord have mercy. Were you involved in writing this book?
I'm trying to provide another perspective.
Hold on, I got no other perspective. What's in the book? It's in the book. That's all I got. That's all I got. 37 years is in the book.
I'm saying when people will say, "Oh, okay, so what's my why?" I'm not. That's really a sophisticated concept. What's your why? Okay,
right.
So I didn't get married for the right reason.
Right.
I mean, they might say if they reflect on it now, I said, I really did. I like them, but I really did not get married because they were my best friend. I didn't even know about that. Now I know.
Oh, you talking about me or the person?
No. I'm talking about generically, sweetheart.
Oh, because you know I'm husband number 2.
Do we have to go down that path?
I'm husband number 2 and last. What do you say? How do you say it? You say it a certain way. Number last.
Number last.
I'm the husband number last.
Number last.
Yeah.
The keeper.
I love this woman.
So the lessons that I learned. So the why. So if you don't know why, and sometimes the why might not be strong enough, so you got to figure out what is there to keep us together. So
all right, so let's talk about committed.
You see
committed love is the force that can transform an enemy into a friend. Committed love. You asked me before we got on, what does that look like? Committed love. But I told you, the only thing I had in my mind was a story in the book about committed love. That Mrs. Brown had a committed love for her.
Mrs. Brown was your neighbor.
Was my neighbor.
Whose spouse ran around her.
Who had 2 children outside the marriage.
With him.
And
do
she
you
stayed
have
with him.
any other examples of committed love?
Your parents were committed.
We're committed.
We're committed.
How do we know we're committed?
Because you drive me crazy. That's it. You talk about somebody who is OCD. OCD. And I stay just as patient. I'm committed to this woman. I mean, everything. I want to make her go, ooh, then I'll move something in a closet or something and put it in the wrong place. Ooh, something's out of place. Everything.
Excuse
Oh.
me.
Neat.
Orderly. Well organized.
Oh, yes.
Decisive.
You are. And beautiful.
Thank you.
So we're committed. We're in this.
Committed.
And I'll tell you how we committed. I'll tell you how we committed. I'll tell you another way how we committed.
How do people know that?
I'll tell you another way how we committed. When we got married, what did I say to you about divorce? Let me tell you what I said to her about divorce. I said to her, look, this is it. I'm not getting married no more. Unless you, well, there's a way. If you want to get out of this marriage, there's a way to get out of this marriage. If you die, you're good to go. Okay, you're good to go. Other than that, this is it. We're going to work through the problems. That's what I said to her when we got married.
Yes, it is what you
And we have worked through the problems, the downs, the ups, the challenges, blended family, everything. We worked through it, folks. You got to work through it. That's what commitment means.
So,
and one more quote.
Commitment then is a decision.
It's a decision. Marriage
is like love.
Love is an emotion.
It's a decision.
Marriage is a decision.
Both people have to decide.
They got to decide.
You hear what I'm saying? Keith? Both people have to decide that they want to make it work. Then they will work together on it.
But that's a decision that needs to be made right up front. Not somewhere.
I agree.
No, you need to make that decision right up front. This is it.
And that's a conversation.
Divorce is not an option.
So that's a conversation.
We're not going to try and get married, stay married.
That's a conversation that needs to be had before marriage. But unfortunately, a lot of times that's not the case.
Right.
Right?
But that's correct.
Right?
Right.
So then you got to have it after, and you have to work backwards into making it work.
Right.
So how do you do that? The key is communication.
Yep. Well, yep. Keys is communication. We went to dinner with our friends Dexter and Betty Clark. And Dexter and Betty Clark been married
40. At least 40.
More than, I think, 40 years, at least 40 years. And we asked them what was the secret to their commitment, what was the secret to their success in marriage. And they said it was so quick that when they said it, here it is. When we interviewed Bill and Vivian, Dexter and Betty Clark, their real name Bill and Vivian, who are lifelong friends of ours, we asked them what was the secret to their ability to get married while in college and then live successfully together for over 40 years. They looked at each other and in unison, they responded, compromise and being conciliatory and being committed. They said, that's the edict. Work it out. Fix the feelings and do it fast. And they said, and then she said, don't let things linger and don't hold grudges. Woo-hoo, folks. This, you got to get over it. You got to get over it. You got to get over it and move on quick.
You know what I think? I think,
and apologize quick.
I think that with a lot of the conversations you have with some of your people who are calling and asking for counseling, and the men, there is a desire to simply be right.
That's exactly right. You're absolutely right.
Desire to be right.
Yeah.
And to be in charge. So what do you do?
Large and in charge. And my way is the only way.
So what do you do with that?
And I tell them they're stupid. I always say to them, you are stupid as can be. That's what I say to them on the phone. You stupid. You are stupid. You know what? You might be good in business, but you with marriage and women, you dumb as rock. You dumb as a rock. Here's why. Because
so they need a course in how women think.
Well, they need a course in how women think. And then what's the bottom line is you want to be happy. We happy. I ain't got now happiness. Do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? What you said that years ago.
I did.
All right. Do you want to be right or you want to be happy? And many times I just want to be happy. So she'll say, something hurt my feelings. I say, I'm sorry. And that's not I'm not going to argue about something that's so small. Again, a little thing.
Okay. So your self-esteem is really not caught up in it.
No.
You don't have to be right.
No. I just want to be happy and married to you, and we got peace. We got a no drama zone in the house, don't we?
Yes.
We have no drama. We haven't had an argument in over
And you know
35,
what? And to
36
learn
years.
how to laugh together.
Yep.
Because I had to learn how to laugh to deal with you.
Yeah. And that's true. And that's true. Because I'm high energy. I got a lot going on.
Disorganized.
Not quite
and some
stuff
things
everywhere
I
going
just
a
have
million
to-
miles an hour.
I have to push it. And so I had to learn to just I don't focus on that.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then I get real excited because today
Robert Kennedy say, right or happy, I want both.
that
My brother, I
would be perfect.
that would be perfect. But
Not
you
gonna
know what?
happen.
It ain't always gonna be that way, and she want both too. But when you make up your mind that you want to be happy and that we can work this out, and that means
But you don't have to have your way all the time.
no.
So
No.
today, for example,
Al Roker said it one day on TV. He said you have to make up, if you want to be happy in marriage, you have to make up your mind if you want to always be right or be in a peaceful relationship. He said this.
I don't always have to be right, but I really get very excited when you do certain things that pleases me.
Yes, you do. And you treat
Like
me well.
I do.
You
And like
hooked me up.
today, that was not a hookup today, but it was you cleaned your closet. And I was like so excited. I said, I will definitely treat you later. He cleaned the closet.
So we gotta get off the front. We gotta get off this show real early tonight because she's
Let's go back to the
All right.
concept.
all right.
Okay.
Fixing a fractured commitment.
Yes.
Commitment.
And I said, I am so excited because you are giving away shirts,
Sweaters, socks.
T-shirts. Some of them knew that wasn't the right color that you had forever. And that might seem like a small
And
thing, but that's a big thing
and that makes
because he's a hoarder. So I had to learn to deal with somebody who's a hoarder. He has probably the first pair of underwear that he ever had as an adult that's been pieced together with yarn. Okay? So
I like stuff
had
that gets
to-
comfortable there. That's when it gets
So
comfortable.
I had to learn that I can't dwell on that because I really can't do anything about that. I talked to him very sweetly about it. I said, so we were giving
I had to work it. Didn't you say?
clothing to the
Yeah.
shelter. No,
Well,
let
we
me
gave
explain.
away
This is
shelter,
what we
right?
were doing.
Right. We were
And
collecting
when
clothing
I
for the
made
shelter.
the suggestion, I said soaps and socks. So we give soaps and socks. And over the years, we've done it. Collected soaps and socks given to Central Union Mission, one of the charities that we work with. We haven't done that in a couple of years. And I said to him today, let's do that. Because we didn't do it last year, right?
Because of
And
COVID.
so we had less soaps and socks, but we could do that. And what about some sweaters and other things that we could give to the homeless? And he took the bait
I did.
and cleaned out his closet.
And a lot of new underwear. I had bunches of
And
brand new underwear.
I was so excited.
She was
And
so
I
excited.
said to him,
I said, I like the old one. The
I
old one
am-
works for me.
and I said to him,
Wash it and use it again. Hello.
I said to him, I am so excited as I watch you fold and give away clothing, and I am going to hook you up later because I am just so, I said to my
See
kids
y'all.
too,
Bye.
I am just so excited. That makes me so happy that you are cleaning out. Isn't that ridiculous? Huh? It's funny, but we understand, and it was such a pleasure. I get excited about cleaning and organizing. I could be a minimalist, but I can't be a minimalist because I'm married to somebody who's a hoarder. But today, he gave away. It must have been.
Now let's talk about. Let's take a marriage point though.
Mhm.
Let's say I get that honest from my mother. My mother was a hoarder. Okay, I'm less of a hoarder than my mother. Am I right?
A ham in the basement
Am I right?
that been hanging in the basement for like 25 years. Oh my God. Anyway,
Am I less of a hoarder than she is?
yes.
I'm much better
Yes.
because I've been with you all these years. But here's what I want to say to everybody. I still got some of those issues. I like stuff. I don't want to throw away certain stuff. Okay, I want to keep it close.
I want to clean.
And she wants nothing in the house. She wants nothing. She wants nothing. So we work now. Think if we had how do we compromise that? That's what I want to get to, folks. We compromise. And I know that her how she's hardwired. She knows how I'm hardwired, and we give a little bit each. She has worked with me with making up the bed where it doesn't have to have the hospital corners. I've given with her where she doesn't have to see my mess in my closet. I close the door. No one ever did. I pick up my shoes.
And I observed that certain things make you happy. You like this stuff.
I like
you like all.
But what I do when I get to a hotel room.
You unpack and you throw everything on the other bed. So we always have to have a hotel room with two double beds, and he unpacks and throws everything on the bed. I keep my stuff in a nice little suitcase on it.
It makes me comfortable. That's where I'm comfortable.
So
Sherry Ellenberg says she's with you.
You're different.
Michelle Coley says she has OCD too.
So I have to work on me, just like you have to work on you.
Yeah, I want to say something to our friend in South Africa. Many people have sent us notes saying, "Hey, we want the book, but we're in South Africa," or someone was in Australia last week. You can get it now in a digital form, jollymarriage.com, jollymarriage.com. You can download the
workbook too.
The workbook, the audio book, the seminars. You can do it all in digital. So go to jollymarriage.com or ajollymarriage.com, but jollymarriage.com, JOLLEY marriage.com, and order it right now. Do it right now. If you're in the States or domestic and you want an autographed copy, we will autograph it. We will put it in the mail. 2 copies, get 2 copies. We give you a deal if you get 2 copies, because we want both of you. And we said earlier, we want this for people who are single. Every single person who is not married needs this book, so they can start to prepare. That was really profound.
It really is.
And it's
so
really,
we have to work on that. We did say that. We said the Verizon guy was in last week, heard his voice, and said, "Oh, you on?" Anyway, he said everybody needs to have that book.
Yeah,
we were talking about that. But anyway, Terrence also said have one keep box. I don't know if that, when you talk about giving, not hoarding. I mean, you with hoarding stuff. He says have a keep box. After 7 years, I don't need it. And see,
that's probably true. I got some shoes I can let go. I haven't worn in years.
I have some dresses and things that I've had forever that I still like them. It's the black uniform.
Well, but you can still wear them. I'm dreaming that I'm going to get back in
it. You are Hercules. That's what you are. You are Hercules.
I'm going to get back in them clothes. Anyway, folks, that's time. We said we were going to do a short one tonight, but we've done it a little longer than normal. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
All right. So, my friend from South Africa, you're welcome for the information. Tell everybody you know in South Africa to join us.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining. Everybody, thank you for joining. Thank you over Instagram. Terrence, we appreciate you, man. And everybody who's joining, and tell their friends about it. And then Ron Westrup from Australia. So I mentioned somebody from Australia. I didn't see you earlier, Ron.
I love Australia.
We love Australia.
I love
Good night, Mike.
Good on you, Mike.
All right. We love Australia. I love New Zealand, and I love South Africa. We really, really thought South Africa was outstanding. The food, I'm a foodie, okay? And the fact you got the Afrikaner, the Dutch, and the
I don't understand that. I just love fabulous. Him. So I just hang out with him as he.
She ain't a foodie. She's not a foodie. So hey, look, folks. For those who want to know a couple things, listen to my XM show. Thank you, Terrence. Keep promoting the book. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Do it, Terrence. Keep promoting the book. Go to, if you want. You have not set your goals. Please make sure.
You have to mention that.
Goal setting class.
And goal setting is all year.
All year.
It's an all year thing. We pushed it at the beginning,
but you got to keep doing it.
And I'm like, we have to keep doing that because we're still working on our goals.
Yeah, and you can get our goal setting class online. It's at winwithwillie.com. Look for the goal setting, goal achieving class. Take the class. You can get it virtually, and it's going to be life changing. And someone asked the other day, well, I want my wife, my son, my daughter, everybody. Do we need separate registrations? No. One registration.
Buy one time, share with everybody.
Right. Share with your family. Y'all sit down and do it together. It will change your marriage, change your life, change your family, change your finance, change your future. So everybody do that. Go to Win with Willie. If you're not on my newsletter, we got a great show this week on my XM show. You want to hear it tomorrow night. The guy who taught me how to do goals. So we got lots coming up.
And I listened to it and updated my goals and started working on some other avenues.
Absolutely. We listen
that I need to improve on.
Thank you, Terrence, before the Val book. Hot.
Oh.
All right. Look,
That's a great idea before the vow.
Yeah. But look, we got to go, folks. Want to thank y'all so much. Thank everybody. And remember that we really appreciate you. We love having y'all as part of our community. And hope you'll enjoy the music as we go out with Close to You from my jazz album. Enjoy.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.